It's training camp season. Today we're looking at the Cleveland Browns in the joint practice against the Philadelphia Eagles. We are on Shedeur Sanders' watch. We're going to go over today's practice, the preseason game, what we're seeing from Shedeur Sanders and the quarterbacks. Before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at training camp every single day, what your players are doing behind the scenes, your rookies, your position battles. Guys that are getting ready to draft in fantasy football. You need to know what they're doing on the field. Click that button. Stop missing out. But going over practice. Shedeur did not get a rep today. This is like the first time we went a full practice without getting a rep. He is starting the preseason game. So my guess is he's going to get a ton of work in the preseason game. 7-on-7 started out. Pickett with the 1s. Gabriel with the 2s. Huntley with the 3s, and from what I've read, that looks like that's the only work Huntley got. And then you're looking at the 11-on-11s, the Browns offense. It's Flacco with the 1s, Gabriel with the 2s, Gabriel running with the 1s. Eventually in practice, Shedeur rarely this whole time has gotten the opportunity to run with the 1s. Keep that in mind throughout this whole time, especially training camp. Understand the ramp up in the spring ball season. Then they get the red zones. Flacco's out there with the 1s. He's their starting quarterback. He is the starter. They're going to name that after the Eagles game. Gabriel now with the 2s. Gabriel, the hamstring's good. Pickett, not so good right now. So Gabriel's getting work in the 11-on-11s. So we're going down here. And Gabriel gets a short TD to Trevion Williams. And the red zone looks. Back to regular 11 versus 11s. And we're starting off with Flacco. He finds Jerry Jeudy. Coming down here, they go to the special teams. They come back and do 11 versus 11s again. Flacco with the 1s. Gabriel with the 2s. That concludes practice. Shedeur Sanders does not get any reps at all in practice. At all. We see him a little bit here during warm-ups. We catch that from the beat writers. The beat writers were not able to cook up clips today. They weren't able last week. They must be going over more advanced things in the joint practices. Some teams do, some teams don't when it comes to joint practices. It is what it is. He did not get any reps today. No reps today for Shedeur Sanders. So, what looks are we going to get on Saturday? That's going to be the major question. However, his performance is going to be on wax for everybody to see. And I've been saying this the whole time. He's not just auditioning to climb the Browns depth chart. He's auditioning for other teams. Auditioning. That being said, another good performance on wax in front of a crowd. I look for him to play at least 2 quarters. Probably 3 to 4. As they come up from Cameron Justice, and they usually come out later. This ain't going to come out later for the joint practices. It did not last week with the Panthers. But he's been on fire. He's been solid. Depending on the practice, somewhere between a 70 to 80% completion rate. There's a few practices less than that. But completion rates, just about every single practice, he's been leading the charge. I think it's been weird how they've been distributing things with these quarterbacks. They got too many quarterbacks. That's for sure. I don't know if Huntley even needed reps today, considering he's not in the long-term plans, considering what you already got, considering you're very heavy on Gabriel for sure. And I know they like Kenny Pickett. And I don't know how they really feel about Shedeur. I don't know. And there's also rumors that they're not going to carry 4 quarterbacks into the season. And that's a rumor. I think I saw a credible tweet, but I'm not for sure. I thought it was Shefty or somebody like that. It could have been a fake one. Shedeur's not going to last on the practice squad. Somebody's going to pick him up. He's been playing too good. So they can't drop him to the practice squad. And you're going to have to roll with 4 quarterbacks on the 53, which is very hard to do. Very hard to do. You can't go with Gabriel on the 53. Someone's going to snatch him. Those quarterbacks will get purged. Something's got to happen here. But Shedeur Sanders has been stacking days. He's been looking good from wire to wire, from rookie camp to now. He's been stacking days. And the Browns have been the Browns for almost my entire life. There's that picture of that guy with the Browns quarterback jersey on. And I believe it starts off with couch up top. And it's a list. It's like the Elder Scrolls of quarterbacks. I don't know if you really want him to be their starter anyways. And that is also a replication or information, because that word came out funny, of the Browns. Ownership to the top down. Doesn't matter who the coaches were or are. It's always the same story. It's always the same story. From Manziel to Watson to Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield killing it with the Bucs right now. I read from an Eagles beat writer. Pickett came close to throwing a pick. But not much about who did good, who did bad today from the beat writers either. Not much on that. But the Browns defense started getting shredded by the Eagles offense. Dallas Goedert was cooking. Jalen Hurts was cooking. The Eagles beat writers were not saying anything about their defense being cooked. They were not mentioning that. And they were talking up their offense a lot. And they were not talking about their defense being cooked. They did not bring that up once. I was looking them up. They do not have many vids either. They have a little bit on warm-ups. The only thing on warm-ups they really got is a couple Shedeur clips of the Browns. That's it on the Browns side. But it makes sense. They're going Eagles, and they're doing Browns, and they're not going to mix-match their content. But it was fascinating that the Eagles beat writers did make sure that they got whatever they could and whatever they were allowed to get of Shedeur Sanders. My take here, and this added in recently, and I should have thought of this prior, but he's on a rookie deal, a day 3 deal, and if you allow him the proper opportunity, considering he's cashing, I understand if he wasn't cashing, but considering you give him the proper opportunity and he hits for you in season, you got a quarterback on a day 3 deal and 2 first-round picks to build around him. Considering he's cashing and you give him a little bit more opportunity somewhere down the line to prove himself and he fails, you got first-round picks next year to get a new quarterback. A lot of people say I'm biased against Kenny Pickett. The thing about this, I've been correct since draft day, or prior to that, during draft season, calling this out. It was a weak quarterback class. I did not have him as my QB1. I cover draft prospects. I get paid to cover draft prospects. I look at draft prospects somewhere down the line. That could be a few years, 6 years down the road, 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. I see him being in the league for a long time, just being a steady backup that teams like. Shedeur's an upside starter. He's got that in his potential, and that's been out there the whole time. And he showed that in camp, and the more he shows, it feels like the less he gets. He had opportunities, and he cashed. He cashed last week in preseason. He cashed enough last week where, he should get a lot of run in the preseason game. He should at least got some series. I understand Flacco with the ones, getting your ones some opportunities. Not on camera, tougher looks in joint practice. I understand that. And I understand giving Shedeur a lot of looks in preseason on Saturday. But the looks are different in the joint practices. They're a little different. Again, his mentals, everything, flow, the offense, everything else. Some of these quarterbacks are going to get opportunities on Saturdays. It's not like it's a preseason game. We're going to have them out there the whole time. Maybe they will. It's the Browns. Maybe they will. But again, different looks in joint practices. Not as vanilla out there, and you're not running with the 3s, the 2s, the jabronis of the Browns. Offensive line wasn't bailing them out. They couldn't bail them out in the run game. Bad downs and distances. Deontay Johnson missing a ball. He still made plays. He got plays on the ground even. Made some throws. He played well last week, especially considering the context. I think Shedeur Sanders needs some more opportunity. And the Browns ain't giving it to him. The Browns ain't giving it to him. But that's all right. Keep stacking days, and you're playing for another team. You're auditioning for another team. That's the Shedeur Sanders experience. This is the Browns experience, really. Let me know what you think, though, in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.